As y'all can see, I got the trailers inside the back that I thought of, the concept trailers. Okay, yes, there may be a little bit of clickbait, but it's really just giving you a general idea of where 2K can go with their game. Let me lower down this camera some. Alright, we good. So what you can see back there is 2K17 gameplay. Yes, 2K17 gameplay. But it is a concept of the, trailers, just ideas you can go with. I didn't go all the way to high school and stuff because I don't have 2K16 downloaded, so I really couldn't do much with it. But if I did have 2K16 downloaded again, which take a lot of time to download that game all over, but if I had to download it again, I would go through all the way through the path of high school. But it's so many different scenarios that I feel that, I can't do them all. Especially, if I could just get some sort of idea out there for you guys to look at, how about this? So, with this, you got the concept trailers of Summer League. I couldn't get D-League either because D-League's not in the game anymore, which is also in 16. So I use Summer League. If we could, basically it's just building a deeper story, something that can actually carry some weight with it. I know that they base their stuff online, but the thing is, they said one important thing, which I thought was really, really great to hear, which they say usually every year, but the thing is, they're going to bring something even bigger to what we have seen in 2K's prior years. Something we have never seen before. Okay, well, we've seen plenty of stuff before, but okay, let's go with this way. Okay, 2K18 for WWE is going to have free roam in the backstage area, just like they did in not 2K11, but WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 and stuff like that. Oh, can't remember. The road to WrestleMania is where you could do the stories backstage and stuff, walk around and stuff. Yeah. So they're going to do something like that. But so if they can add a little free roam to their game, I understand why we need to do something more with the my court. We can free roam in our my court, and we can free roam at my park. But the thing is, we don't have access to things to, make the game just put a little bit extra on the game to where it really can't be competed with. NBA Live, there's not going to be a story to it. Is as what it's looking like right now. There's nothing that's going to have a story to it, and it's literally just playing basketball the whole time, and you get bored with that. Like, you have to make a story out of UFC. You have to make a story out of Madden because there was no story to it. Now, Madden is getting the idea, hey, maybe if I create a story or add some cutscenes in, maybe it brings more interest for our the fans, our customers who buy it, our community. So if you just take that into account, I mean, maybe 2K is like, hey, they really want this idea. And as you can see, look, new hairstyles are going to be inside the game, which I am excited for the simple fact that's going to add something different. I really wish they would change our body types. If they give us more access to different body types. They're going deeper into the archetype system, so we'll see how deep they are going into that. If we're going to be two-dimensional or are we still going to be just a one-dimensional player, which I will be highly upset about. But the thing is, NBA Live will be playable this year. So they have something to fight for. They do have something to prove. 2K does have something to prove. NBA Live just has to get better. They have nothing to prove. They can shock many people, but they literally have nothing to prove because it's already said and done that 2K is the best game. We already know Live is not going to beat out 2K this year, but it's playable. So that's when it's getting scary. When they have no pressure on them, but 2K is like, oh my goodness, are they going to take our throne? Of course not this year, but next year they can move to that Frostbite engine, yeah, because they're on Ignite right now. They can move to the Frostbite engine, and man, Um, but yeah, as you can see, yeah, I showed a little drive and stuff like that. I wanted to just get you. Just think about this. If you could just drive around in a small town, remember 30 people in a session. It's usually about 30 to 40 people in a session in the session you're at on my park. So I mean, and how massive this game GTA is, they can still fit like 30 people up inside of a session. So I mean, you can build a small town, and as long as they fix the server issue, that may not be out of reach if you actually take into account the size difference and the complexity uh, of GTA 5. Um, they have more realistic animations in GTA 5 for the most part, rather than, well, body contact. We have more. It's a little either or, but there's more realism inside of GTA 5. You have more realism on the side of basketball physicality on 2K because it's a basketball game. But the thing is, uh, if you take in all this stuff that they put inside of GTA 5, it's very doable to have some of these things inside of 2K. Very, very doable. And I felt that I needed to show you guys, ideas for some trailers. Um, so what if they were clickbait? I told you in the description what it was. Um, I felt if we showed you something inside of the trailers, you could have a peace of mind of what I was actually trying to do here. I'm trying to get you guys this gameplay. We're just going to go back to the gameplay over and over again. And we're just going to talk. And the next thing we're going to talk about is, see, we talked about the trailers, but we need to get greater depth about what the story is, how they cannot be corny. Like, give us some legit nicknames and stuff like that. Even if we were to have a name in the story, I know people like, no, I want my name, I want my name. Well, why don't you give us a set of people from different racial backgrounds, and we just have to take those names. I know everybody don't want to be a Stanley Johnson or whatever inside the game, but I mean, give us something. If you can't think of a good nickname, don't try and give us one. Why can't we use? I mean, why can't we use the Chosen One? I mean, you let us have that nickname inside of the game, but nobody calls the Chosen One LeBron anymore. We call him the King. We call him King James. So I mean, give us the Chosen One inside the game, or the Prodigal one, or whatever it is. Whatever we have inside those games, inside the games already. I mean, I have no problem with that. I don't think anybody else would have a problem with that. But let's go ahead and analyze this trailer. Okay, yes. I used 3 different ethnic backgrounds for each trailer. This one was a white boy, fundamental. Had some smooth. He shows that he had some skill. He was very dominant, but he also had a knee injury that could go in line with his story as well. But it's also Summer League, so that gives you a hint. Hey, maybe they added Summer League into the game, which would help, tell how your player is evolved inside the story. As you can see right there, there's the knee injury. I don't want to get past 15 minutes. So let's go ahead and go back through here, and let's go ahead and analyze these trailers. And you can see the street ball. Street ball was the cop. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. Oh, man. Street ball was the cop, guys. 30 years old with a child. Of course, he soon can make it to the NBA, but the thing is, why don't you start him off playing basketball? Didn't he just do this? I just did this. Okay. And he wanted to dream playing in the NBA, but the thing is, you get 3-on-3 basketball tournament. I think that would make the game a lot more exciting than what we have to offer. What 2K has to offer us right now. I mean, you can see the street ball guy. He has a little bit more flashiness. Um, you know, a little bit more aggression when he goes up. Um, you know, I trash talking and add this to the game. Trash talking, interaction with the ref, actually getting technicals for overly taunting. If you're going to put taunting in the game, why don't you give us technicals for taunting? Why don't we get ejected? Why don't we have press conferences more in depth? Why don't we have, okay, switch up the press conferences. We can't just be talking to Shaq and them. Shaq, Ernie, and Kenny after the game. Let us talk to the reporters way more than what we do, rather than it just being a part of the story. Or make it a part of a bigger story, a deeper story. Um, Overseas, let him play overseas for a while. We made Oscar de la Rua, if that's how you pronounce the name. That's what I chose. But he overseas. They're usually more fundamental than everybody else. Uh, but their footwork is real beautiful. Their fundamental skill for the game, you know, it usually makes them a little bit average. But you use people like Manu Ginobili, who's a great asset to his team. I mean, that's really important. But just giving people choices. Not everybody wants to be an American. I'm sorry. I'm American. I want to be American. But the thing is, give other people choices. Hey, if I'm from overseas, I want to play overseas. If I want to be a Chinese person, I want to be a Chinese person. If I want to be a Middle Eastern, I want to be a Middle Eastern. If I want to be Hispanic or Latin person, let me be Latin. So I use Latin, white, and black people for these trailers just to show the diversity of the game. And hopefully we can start seeing women in the game, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. And we will see where NBA Live is going with the speculation of WNBA players. That's really all I got today. I will have another video tomorrow. Yes, these will be playing back in the background tomorrow. And we're going to be talking in greater depth of what else I had recorded down. And we can talk a little bit more about AAU in high school and the story and the upbringing of that. But the thing is, these are just ideas to sit your mind on and think, hey, 2K should give us this. I'm really interested in this. You guys need to, don't only just watch it, comment, and I want to hear you guys' ideas, because I would like to implement them in my videos. I mean, I want to see what you guys want to see inside of these videos. Go like my last video and tell others to subscribe. If you are new, go ahead and like my video and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And